Hello friends, welcome to our new tutorial on React. In this tutorial we'll be looking at how we can create a web application using React with styled components. We'll be creating a simple web page like what you are seeing here, responsive web application. If we drag it, you see it responds depending on the device size. To begin with, you'll have to install Node on your machine. If you have not yet if you don't have Node installed on your machine, you can go to Node website and install Node. And also you have to install React. For example, if you go to a React website, we have just how to create a new React application. You can just, if you have installed Node on your machine, it will install this npx package, which will enable you to run this command. So after that, you can run npx create react app, then the name of your application, and then navigate to the application, and then from there you can run start the application. So here I went ahead and created a new React application, and in our application I removed all the files that we don't need for now, and this is our project structure. So if you have run and installed a React application, your folder structure should have something like this. So if you have an extra files, you can go ahead and remove them. Okay, so for now what we are going to do is we are going to start our application. So I will just come here and on view, and then select terminal. So inside here I will just run npm start. So this will run and start our application. Good. So our application is barely a blank page with an hello world text. So if we go to our project, we can see that in our app.js file I added this. So after that you need to install styled components. So to do so you can run npm install, then you can say styled components like so. Then after that you can click run, and this one will run and install this package on your application. So after you have installed styled component, then we can go ahead and structure our project. The first thing you need to do when you are starting a React application is to structure your project the way you want it to be for easy follow-up. In our source folder, we are going to create a folder which we will call components, and we also create another folder inside here which we will call assets folder, and we'll also create another folder which will be pages. So, and this one is going to contain our components. React applications are made up of components, so you can call it is built on components. So you have to note that. That's why we create this folder called components to hold our different components for our application. These components that we create here can always be reused in our application so that we don't repeat ourselves. That enables us to make our code more neat and easy to read. Okay, good. So having known that, and our asset folder is the one that is going to contain our images. and the apps pages folder is the one that is going to have our different pages for our application. All right, so let's go ahead in our pages folder and create another folder here, and we'll name it home page, and inside here we'll create 3 files, and one of them is going to be the index file. This is the default file which is loaded when you navigate to pages folder. Okay, so we'll add another file which will be I will call it top content.js, and this one is going to hold our top content of our application on this home page. If you go to the design, this is an XD design that I have here. This is our main screen, top section of our application, and so this top content is the one that is going to have the nav bar, which is this one, nav bar section, and also this welcome section and our button. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create another file which will be we can call this one page content. All right, so after creating these 3 files in our application, we can go ahead and then define our application. So in React, there are many ways of creating a React application page, but for us here, we are going to use the new method, which will be export. Okay, before we even do that, let me first import. We'll import React from React, and then here we'll export function, and then home page, and here we'll just have props, then we will return. We can just return these empty tags. All right, so after structuring our home, we can go ahead and just say hello world, save, and then let's import our home page in our app.js file. So inside here we'll go ahead and import home page from, and then home page. So we don't need to define index.js. It is a default page which is loaded automatically when you navigate to this folder, so we don't need to specify it there. All right, so here we can go remove this and then just put our home page right there. So if we save and let's go back to our page, okay, we have, okay, maybe let's export default. All right, so let's check once more. Good. Now this is our home page which is loaded. We can go ahead and just change this word to home page, save, and let's check it out. See, we have our home page right there. So here we are loading our home page. Okay, now what we need to do is, for us to style up our home page, to create our first page, we are going to use, instead of using SAS, or instead of adding all our application style into one file, we can add these styles independently on each page that we create using styled components. Okay, hope you understand what I'm saying. Said that, so what we need to do is we are going to start with our top content, And this one we are going to import React, and then here we are going to export default function, and then here we'll the top content. All right, so we'll pass in props, and then here we also supply empty tags. Okay, so now what we need to do here is to define our container that is going to hold our content. So okay, but before even we do that, let's go to our home page. So inside here we are going to import styled from styled components, and then here we'll create a constant variable, a constant tag, which will be can call this one page, or I can just say container, and this one will equal to styled. And then here we'll then define our height. Height will be 100%, and then width will be 100%. Yeah, we'll display flex. I hope at this point you have some knowledge about HTML and CSS, because all what we are doing here is that we are using the first principles of HTML and CSS, so we are building on that. So I hope you know. If you don't know HTML and CSS, I would advise to read more about it, and then you can continue with React, because React is built on technologies of CSS and HTML with JavaScript. Okay, so having said that, so we'll go ahead and we can say flex direction, we can say columns, we can display columns there. Yeah, that's all, as simple as that. So we can just pass in here page container, and then inside here we can just pass in hello. All right, let's save and see what we have. Good. So let's go ahead and create our top container. Top content page. Section. So what we need to do here is to define our background, and we'll also import styled from styled components, and then here we'll create a constant tag, which will be, let's call it okay, you can call it top container. Okay, yeah, container will equal to styled .div. After that, then you can apply your style inside here. Okay, so here we'll have our height will be 100 VH, and VH we mean virtual height, so it means that this container will take up the entire screen depending on this on the device, so it will take up its entire viewport of that device. And also we'll specify the width will be 100%, Yeah, we'll also display flex, and also a flex direction. We'll supply columns. Okay, and now here we put our background. Good, so let's go and see how. So this is the background that we are going to be using. So I've already exported this background. Okay, our background is right here. Can just copy these two and then go in our asset and let me just drag them there. So this is our logo, and this is our background that we're going to use. So all right, so let's go back. Now here we need to import our background. So I say bg image. Okay, so we have imported our image. Okay, so if we go to assets, these are the two images that we are having, and just specify URL function, and inside here can just simply pass in our bg image like so, and save, and then let's come here down here. All right, so let's save and check out what we are having. Oh, sorry, so we need to import our top content into our page. So come here and then import. Actually, yeah, top content, and here we have you can call it content. Okay, so we'll have top content. Okay, so let's define our top content here like so, and let's check it out. Okay, let's check. All right, so now our error is coming from this. So can just remove the default and save. Yeah, so let's go inside here and can remove this. Okay, let's just all right, so let's save and see what we have. Good. So now this is our page, but remember we are having this padding on our page. So for us to do so, we need to apply some global styles, which is going to be affected on, which is going to be applied on entire application. So to do so, we need to go to create into our source folder. We'll create a new file and we'll call it global.js. So this will import our styled component from styled, and actually not styled, we'll import create style. This function will enable us to create a global style which will be applied on our entire application. So to do so, we have to import it. and after that then we'll export a constant here, which will be global style, and this one will equal to create our global style, and then inside here we'll have body and HTML. So we'll define here margin of this one will be 0, and then padding we'll have 0. Good. So after that then we can define our, okay, so here we'll supply box sizing, which is equal to border box. Good. So after applying that, and then we can, okay, so in my application, in our design, I used Helvetica style to design our application, our design here, but then we don't have that style. So I'm going to use, instead of downloading this, I'm going to use Google Font, and the nearest font that we can use is Roboto font, which is similar to Helvetica font. So I'm going to go ahead and paste in this style inside here, and I'll define our body once more here, and I'll give it font size to rem, and we can apply font family, and that will be Roboto, which is that one. So, and also have font weight, which will be 400, and the color will be, let's apply white for now. And what else do we need here? Alright, so let's save, and then let's import our global style into our app.js. So this is the upper level where we import that global style in our application. So what we need to do is come here and say import from our global style there, and then we can just come here, say like so, save, and let's check our alright, so what we need to do is, I don't know why it's confusing me, but okay, maybe what we need to do is just wrap this one inside the brackets. Yeah, like so. Good. So now our page is like so. Okay, so what we can do then, on our top content, we are going to add another background filter to reduce on the opacity of our background. So we'll just just apply that, and here we'll have height of 100%, width 100%, and display flex direction will be columns. Then we can come here, actually we can add background, and our background will be RGBA. Here we have 0, then 0.3. Okay, so we can go ahead, apply a background filter there. Yeah, that's something like it. So that filter is enough for us. So what we are going to do is we are going now to work on our content here, this information here, and also our button. Before we go to the to our navigation bar, let's start with our content section here. Okay, so now since we have finished to set up our page background, so let's go to our page content, and inside here we'll also import import React from React, then can export function page content, and then here we return just empty tags. Okay, so now what we are going to do is first of all we are going to define our container. So we'll start with need to import styled from styled components, and then here we'll say styled, create a constant. It will be call it container, say page container, will equal to styled dot we'll have a div, and here we'll have a width of 100%, and then display will be flex direction, have columns, save, and that's all. So let's come here and define our page container. And then inside here we'll have to create our title. So it's our page title equal to styled. I'll use H1, and here we have our font size will be, let's use 90 pixels, and we are going to position it to absolute, and then top 30%, and then left will be 8 pixels. Yeah, so let's add it here. So we'll have our page title, and here we'll have we need to define it here in our top content section. So we import it, page content, and here we have alright, page content, and let's say what we have. Alright, so let's check with our design. Yeah, I think the padding is what we need. So let's go to our title, let's come here and also define const page sub, and then this one will be a div. You can use a div there. Our subtitle will be also position absolute to have 80 as the title pixels. Here we'll have color, and we need to create our color class here. So we'll call it theme.js. This class is going to hold our colors, so we can just export const theme, which is equal to primary color will be, let's go to our design. So this will be our primary color. Come there, copy that one and paste it there, and let's go back here. So let's check our color on our text. So this will be can call it primary. Okay, actually I can call it light. So let's go back to our page and then import our just go to color title, and then here we'll import theme theme.primary and also we can do the same here. Color will be primary light. So check out. So here we are importing our page subtitle. So save and let's see what we have. Oops. Text transform uppercase. Good. So that is our text. Our font size will be 40 pixels. Let's check with our design. Good. So that is something that we... Now it's time to add our button. If you go to design, we are going to add this button to our application. So to do so, we'll need to... So we'll add a button as a component because we don't want to repeat ourselves. So we'll create this button which will be applied to the entire application. Create another file here and I will import styled from styled component, and here I will have I'll export const button style which is equal to styled dot button, and now here we'll have width of 23 pixels and then height of 100 pixels, and our background color. Now we'll import our theme and dot primary, so we have our primary there as our background color, and then font size will be 30 pixels, and then border and outline none, and then you have border radius which will be 103. Yep. So okay, and focus outline will be none. So let's come here into our button, then import button style. So we are going to export a function which will be button, and we'll return button style, and inside here we'll pass in props and children. So whatever we pass in will be our placeholder, and then here this will represent any function that we pass in here, either as an on-click event. So that is our button, and then we can come to our top content, then page content here, and we can create a button container which will equal to, so position will be absolute, top will be, yeah, I can then come here and then put our button here. So button container, and now we import our button here. Import from components button. So we import that, and then good. So I think we need to add some cursor will be pointer, and I think let's also make it uppercase. Text transformation. Alright, so let's save and see what we have. It's supposed to be border. Let's do bottom, 50 pixels. Good. So yeah, so now our bottom is 50%, and actually not 50 pixels bottom. So we can add our text is not being added. Children. Yeah. Good. So that is our button right there. Good, but the button color is this color, so we copy that, come to our theme, and then we add primary GLB. So we come here to color. Will be theme dot button color. Good, so that is something that we have in our design. If you look at our design, this is what we have, and if we check, yeah. So now what we are going to do is to make it responsive. We need to center this content when we reach at a maximum of 1000 pixels width. This content should center here instead of remaining like this. So because you see it's not, we're going to come to our button and just apply some media queries at 1100 pixels. So let's check it out. The text. Our style is weird on the button, so what we go back here and change this one to 280 pixels and this one to 80. and apply font size. I have 20 pixels, and then yeah, you can save that, and let's see. Good. So what we can do is to center that button. So what I'll do is we can come here and say position inherit. So so what we need to do is to apply margin left, actually top. We'll use 50%, and then let's, before we do that, let's check that. Good. So what we need to do is to center those items, and we'll do so by coming up here and just say align items, center. Good, our button is centered, so I think we need to remove the margin. Need to go to button style here. Need to remove these margins here. Yep, I think it's centered now. Okay, so what we need to do is to center also this content. So at this, I need to go to page content, so we need to center our title. We'll do so at that width. We are going to apply position inherit. Good, save, and let's see what we have. Oh, what is this? Okay, let's see. So this margin top will have 20%. Font size will have 50 pixels. Our subtitle right here. Our size will be 20 pixels. I think let's save and check it out. Whoa, what is this space for? Okay, let's first remove that. Alright. And let's remove this top. Okay, let me remove this margin on the button. And remain with margin top of 10%. Good, so yeah. So that is what we have there. So if we reduce, that is what we get. If we go back, so our page is responsive. Okay, so okay, that is it. And now what we are going to do is this title here at this width, at 768 pixels. I'm going to change this margin to 40 pixels. Yeah, that will do. And maybe what we can do here is to apply some transition to something like all, is in, is out. All right, so if we check out with the different device, so you can go to the button and I can just put in here on hover. We want our button to be border of 3 pixels solid, and you have theme, theme.primary, and background will be transparent, and our text color, we'll use that one. Okay, let's save and see what we have. Good, so this is what we have. All right, if you check with the iPhone, all right, now we have finished our button. So our page is responsive, but then we need to add some transition on our button here first. So we can just simply do that by going back to our code and then to our button, and we can just add here transition. Put also inside here, I think. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so now let's go and work on our nav bar here. So if we go to our design, so we are going to be adding our logo and also these menus to our page. Okay, so let's do that. So to do so, we'll need to create a component for our nav bar. So we'll go into component, create a folder to call nav bar, and we'll also create another folder which we'll call Humbugger, or you can call it Burger Menu. So sorry, what have I done? Let's rename this. Okay. All right, so we have the nav bar, so we can create a new file there which will be index.jx, and okay, so this is our nav bar. So we can import our React and then import styled from, and then we are going to export function which will be nav, and then here we'll return. So we'll create a container here, our navbar container, which should equal to styled, div, and this one will have a height of, and padding will be 0 of 3 rem. Width will be of 100%. We'll display flex, and then flex direction will be columns. Implement our navbar container. Our brand, so brand container. This one is going to hold our logo, so it will be style .div, and this one will hold our logo, and then we will have our cons brand, which will be a nav menu container. So we apply those back quotes, and then can also import that one there. So nav container, and here we'll put menu. Need to import this nav into our page, so we go into our home, and on our top content, we import our nav from components, and then navbar. Okay, so we come here and import our navbar here. Good, so let's save and check it out. Sorry. So I need to remove these columns, so save once more. Good. Alright, so now what we are going to do is replace this with our logo. So we can go ahead and create a new component here for our logo. So logo, and inside here we'll have a file which will be index.jsx, and we'll import React, and then we'll export. Okay, so now inside here we'll create another file which will hold our image style, so we can call it .jx, and inside here we'll import styled from image container. This image container, which is equal to styled display flex, and then let's export also const image logo, and this one will be of height, and width will also be 4 rem. Alright, so let's do like 3. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's come here and then import our import from logo, and here we import image logo, then image container. Okay, so we can come here and then here we'll pass in our image. So since this is our source image, we are going to import assets, and then let's copy this image name, and then let's just pass in here source equal to. Okay, so now our image has been defined. So what we need to do is go to our nav here and import our image component. So we call it logo image, and then here we come and pass in our logo image like so. Image container, image style. Okay. Alright, so now our logo is right there. So what we need to do now is to work on our menu, and to do so we need just to go to our menu section here. Okay, let's go ahead and create a file here and call it nav menu. And inside here we'll import and then here we'll have display of flex. Let's go and get that color. So our text color is going to be this. So we go into our theme page. Is it the same? This seems to be the same. Okay, so what we'll do is theme.primary color light, and then let's first save that and then import our menu here. Okay, and this will be nav menu. Okay, so instead here we can just come and pass in our nav menu here, and we can see put in home page here. Okay, so save and let's see what we have. Good, so let's what we can do is add lists there. Alright, so let's save and see. Yep. So what we can do here, can go to say list, and select style of none, set text decoration. This will be font weight will be something like 300. So then so let's apply hover. Hover color will be, can just add this color there, and I can put transition 0.4 seconds. Good. So that is our menu right there. All right, so now here we are going to the second part where we need to add our button to our menu, and we are going to create constant here, b button container, and that will equal to styled dot. This one will have will be 50 pixels. So we come and put our margin right here, our button wrapper, and then we import our button. So as I said before, this is the same button we created in our components folder, so we are reusing it here. So now here what we are going to do is import our button like so, and we will use an inline attribute here, and here we'll put like contact us. Okay, so when the page is when the button is inline, we are going to define these styles for this button. So what we need to do is we are going to go to the button here, the button style, and we are going to change basically most of this. So we want to define create a condition here. So if it is inline, ls to be 320 pixels. Copy this and put it here. So if it is inline, this will be 40, and if it's not, it will be 100. So our background here, I'm going to say basically the same thing here, and the font size we'll put the attribute of small. So say small. If the button is small, then here. All right, so let's do that, maybe 18. Yeah, so we come to our button here, not here, the button, where are you on our nav? Where are you? Yeah, so inside here we'll add our attribute small. So to specify that this button is in small. Okay, and here what we are going to do is the same thing. Just going to copy this and come here. So if it's in line, we want 1 pixel solid, and our color will be this one. otherwise want it to be actually not this one. We want our border color, which is this one. So just copy that and good. So and that will remain. I think the color will remain. Border radius, so also border radius, just basically copy this. So if it's in line, we want border to be like 8 pixels, otherwise 103 pixels. And this one also we want it to be in line. So if it is in line, yeah, we will do 140 pixels, otherwise 280 pixels. All right. Okay, so at this point, let's save and see what we have. I think we need to work on our padding here. So padding will equal to we'll have 3 to 4 pixels. Okay, so let's first align this one, these items. So just simply go into our nav menu, not nav bar, and then inside here we'll just say display. Display flex. Sorry, this is supposed to be out here. No wonder. Yeah, like so. Good. So justify content center. That should work. Yep. So let us just add like 100 margin left for this button. I don't know why it's pushing this menu. But anyways, let's just continue. We need to center this thing. Oh, we need to center. Okay, we are going to inline, and then this inline will have that color. Will remain with this color if it's not inline. So I'll copy that. Maybe we can add a little more padding to the left. So okay, Okay, I've forgotten to put pixels here. What was I doing? So pixels here. Yeah. So here we're going to have 40 pixels. I think what we need to do is to reduce the text, the font size of this menu. Okay, just here, let's add some media queries. And we have max equal to 11. So inside here, this one we will reduce the font size. Let's just put it here. Just reduce font size to something like 18 pixels. Yep. And also we need to copy just this and go where we have our button here. So at this stage we also reduce this one to 100 pixels. So, margin left to that. Yep. Okay, so at this stage when we go back, everything goes back to the norm. So let me correct that. This should be 40 and this one, yeah. Yep. Good, so that is it. Okay, so if we bring it everything, okay. All right, now we have finished our menu. Now the only thing we are left with is to remove this menu when a certain width is reached. So to achieve that, we need to go to nav menu. But we need to specify media screen and max width of 768 pixels. We need to display this one as none. So we remove the menu when this width is reached so that we can display our Humbugger menu. Okay, so to do so, let's check. If we go to good, it disappears. All right, so let's copy this and also go to our button style. So when this width is reached with this, we remove our button there. And one thing we need to change is on our nav bar, then the button here. Need to change this width to 8, I think, something like that. Let's check. Yeah, that is much better because it was a little bit on the logo, and maybe actually don't need to do this here. Let's just cut that, and let's go to our nav menu, and let's just disappear this here, this button wrapper here. Display none at that stage. I'll put it to 16. Yeah. Good. So now here we then going to display our Humbugger menu when this thing disappears. So at that stage we'll create our okay. So let's go ahead and inside our components folder still, so we'll create another new folder here. Actually we have already created it, so this one, then we'll create a file here, index.js, and then we'll have another file here which will have our burger style.js. So inside here we'll import and then we'll export a constant which will be is it button? Actually this will be button, and this one will display background, will be transparent. Then z index will be 10, and then our height will be 2 rem, and also width to actually right will be 2 rem. Just a focus. And the button is our focus outline, we want it none. Here we'll put a div, and we'll put height will be 2 rem. Actually it will be 0.25. Then width will be 2 rem. Transition origin will be 1 pixel. And background color theme dot yeah, let's use that color. Let me save, and then let me come to our burger index and then import React from React, and then export function. Alright, so here we'll put burger style, and then here we'll put blank divs, Alright, so let's import our burger menu, and we are going to put it just below here. Good, so let's save. Alright, so let's inside here we need to good, so we need to remove I think I need to put here borders none. Good, so our hamburger menu is right there. Maybe what I need to is just give it 3. Yeah, that is enough. Okay, we need to change the display of this one. So at the width we need to say display of none, then at media 768 pixels. We need to change this, so this has to happen here, and also we need to put this one inside here, like so. So when we are at the full width, it's not available. Good, so now we have successfully created our hamburger menu, and now we are going to work on our side menu. We are going to still go to our components and create another folder here. We'll name it Sidebar Menu, and inside here we'll create still an index.jx page, and we'll create another should be sidebar elements.jx. Inside here we'll just say RFC, and this will be sidebar menu. So here, okay, we can leave that for now. Then inside here we will import styled from styled component, and then here we'll export a constant, which will be sidebar back quotes, and then here we'll define our say height will be 100 ph, and width sidebar color, and we have position of absolute, and then top will be 0, and then left will be 0, and have text align center, and line height will be 2 rem, and letter spacing and 2. Here we have rendered light, primer text light, and we'll have font size of, let's say, 10 pixels. Text transform will equal to uppercase. So on hover I want that color, and just transition equal to all 4 seconds, then easing out. Alright, so we save, and but one thing we need to do now is to remove our Humbugger menu from inside the nav bar, and then we just go to our top content, and just below here we put it there, and yeah, let's import it, and also import the sidebar menu. Okay, let's check and see what we have. Okay, so now what we need to do is to define our sidebar menu here. We'll have to import our style from and then here we'll define our links. Okay, so we save, and we should see something good. So that is our sidebar right there. So we can go ahead and let's increase our line height to 3, and just file content center. Good. So okay, so after that now we have our menu right there. We need to add here cursor, pointer. Okay. Good. so let's now let's open and close our menu items. Okay, so what we are going to do is simple. We just go in our top content and inside here actually we'll import that function, and then we can come here and say const open and set open equal to use state, and then here we pass in false. Good. So now here we can go to our Humbugger. We can say open equal to open, and then set open and pass it to our sidebar menu like so. Alright, so now what we are going to do is we are going to go in our Humbugger menu. So inside here we just say open and then set open like so, and we also import these functions from block types, and then we have that function. Okay, so here we have burger style dot block types will equal to open and just add here open equal to menu is open, and then here we just define alright. So now having done that, so if let's refresh the page. Okay, what we can do is we are going to apply some styles to our div here, and we put first child, a bit transform, and have when it is open, okay, we rotate 35 degrees. Or rotate 0, rotation will equal to 0. So if it is here opacity equal to, if it is open, so here we have 1 and 0, I mean, to 1, and then transform equal to, let me just copy this, and here equal to translate y, actually let me do x. It's 25 pixels, and then here translate x to 0. And then on the third icon, we'll do, just copy this and paste it here. And here just apply negative. Okay, let's see. Good. And now here we'll do okay, now we need to disappear this side menu. Since our Humbugger Menu is working, what we are going to do is, and we are going to apply here let's apply transform. So we are going to say if open, if then translate to x-axis, which will be 20 or so this will be 0 and this will be negative 100%. So okay, all right, now we are having an issue here. The way this one is translating, let's apply a transition here, and this will be transform transform from 3 seconds, then we apply a fade in, which is will be ease in, ease out. Okay, let's save. If you refresh, good. So our page is working as expected, but then we need to add this button here, this button, contact us. So what we are going to do with that button, we'll have to go to our menu and have menu, sidebar menu. So inside here, we'll create a button here. So I'll import styled from style component, and then we'll create a constant button contact equal to style. We are going to overwrite that one with a new CSS style. So here we'll have button contact, and here we'll have contact us, and this will be inline. Here we'll have width of pixels, height will be 40 pixels, will be inherit position. Okay, so what we are going to do is going to say margin Okay, so now we have our button right there. There we can do this one to 30. Yeah, so that is our background. We can just say background to so let's change our background color to button primary, and then let's do border none, and color will be from our theme, the primary light. Save. Good. So now we have successfully created our web application which is responsive. So thank you for watching. See you in my next video, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, bye bye. See you in my next video.